Hello, and welcome to episode 45 of the Chronicles of Nidum, run by us at Dice of the Beholder and streamed through the wonderfully accommodating Heavyweight Gaming. So episode 45. Didn't think all of us were going to get here until with the end of last session ending the way it did. But, they're a good group. Before we get into it, though, and before obviously we remind everyone what happened last time, just wanted to confirm, news announcements. We still have the wonderful support of the awesome creators over at Loki Battle Mats, and they're in the chat.
Daddy.
So say hi. But yes, so our first sponsor is Loki Battle Mats, and as I said before, they're award-winning UK-based TTRPG accessory creator. There are many books of battle mats, little, giant, and big sizes, are full of amazing artwork that add an awesome backdrop to any tabletop game. If you are interested in finding out more, please search Loki Battle Mats on Facebook or visit lokibattlemats.com to view their amazing artwork and shop their physical and digital maps. We have some more news. If you aren't following our social media, we have a second sponsor now as well. Reached out to them after a fantastic example of their work arrived on our doorstep. Some wonderful, very, very apt dice, Fort Dice, the Artificer. So our second sponsor that we'd like to welcome to the campaign is Blink Dog Dice, all one word, Blink Dog Dice. They're a small dice maker based in Cardiff, so nice and local. And you can find amazing examples of their work available on their Etsy store. So search, all one word, Blink Dog Dice on all, all social media platforms. And the same then goes for Etsy too. So go show Loki Battle Mats and Blink Dog Dice some love. And just tell them we sent you. Without anything else, if you want to bring everyone else on the screen. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Unfortunately, we don't have an M tonight. M has confirmed it is okay for us to let everyone know that they are not feeling very well at all. Very under the weather. They're incredibly sorry that they can't be here. They do miss being on stream, and they really are missing the campaign and missing playing with us. But it's just unfortunately, tonight is not one of those nights that their body is going to let them join in. However, they're going to get as much rest as they can to hopefully join us next week for our costume stream.
Not character costume, just Halloween. I don't have a red wig.
Charlie might rock up purple with horns. We'll see.
I've got most Brianna's costumes.
Real hard to dress as a human.
But yes, episode 45, guys. But before we get into it, last time on the Chronicles of Nidum. So,
What happened, Bri?
Yeah, what happened? Tell us about
What did you do, Bri?
What did you do?
well, what you did was first of all enact the plan that you had spent the session before reconning. You very handily got the zombie horde out of the way, out of the Beholder's lair and into a safe space, allowing you to creep past them. You decided to circumvent the rest of the lair almost entirely by going straight up it's effectively a sluice run, a drainage chute, and found yourselves, instead of in a cave system or a rough and tumble broken room that you just left, you found yourself in effectively a temple. It was there that you spied an altar with a brown bag on it that Ace could hear hammering coming from. And after many, many, many different skill checks to try and work out what was there, Dice decided to swipe the bag, setting off a chain of events that unleashed a tomb tapper, which almost
that fucking guy
took a few of you down, almost destroyed Ace, but also then let the Beholder know that you were here. Having no other option, the Beholder called you into their throne room, offering you great power as long as you became its servants. To a hero, you all decided, without conscious thought, without speaking, to throw the offer back in his face when Sepsis immediately decided to get into an advantageous position out of the Beholder's Icon and start throwing spells. It was at that moment that the Beholder fought back in earnest and in one eye blast killed Dice. Fortunately,
I knew eye blasts could sting. I didn't know they could kill.
Fortunately, the rest of you quite quickly and quite deftly destroyed the Beholder, and sensing that the bag of holding that you just found was full of items that might help, emptied it, managed to find a scroll of Revivify, and just in time managed to bring Dice back. So, you find yourselves now, at this moment, still in the Beholder's throne room. The huge stone slab that had blocked the entrance is now slowly lowering inch by inch. It is about 30 feet tall and 20 foot wide. It is lowering inch by inch every few seconds, and you can hear already, with the small opening at the top growing, the moaning zombie horde on the other side of it. What do you do?
I'm sorry, Puppy really needed a wee. What's going down?
We've literally just started.
The door. Right, cool.
So
Okay.
the door is dropping. There is an inch of space at the top.
You know what? Sorry, I know we're sort of in medias res here, but I just wanted to say I forgot there was stuff that went well last week.
There was actually
whole-
stuff that went well last week.
Yeah,
That
really
whole
well.
zombie avoidance plan was spectacular. It really worked.
It was good. It went well, right up until... Yeah, that wasn't great.
Right, until the stuff that didn't so much.
My death. And eventual resurrection.
Right, door.
I have an idea.
Okay, oh yeah, and also, obviously, because you turned the bag of holding inside out, at least now half of the floor of this room is covered in a veritable... what size are we looking at? Young dragon's horde of magical items. And you know they're all magical, Sepsis, because you used your Wand of Detect Magic and the entire room
Shit's glowing.
lit up.
Okay, so I've just woken up, right?
Yeah.
You have just woken up.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go... "Ah! What the fuck happened there?"
Ace will put, let's say, 15 hit points of lay
Ace
on
can't.
hands into you.
Ace used 20 of lay on hands last
Yeah,
episode.
they've got 40.
Oh, I'm lying. Sorry, carry on.
I was gonna say, if not, I can do healing words. So
We got the character sheet updated at the end of last thing. Everything's cool. It's fine.
How many hit points, sorry?
15.
Thank you.
It's not much, but you know, it's better than
I'll
nothing.
take 16. It's good.
8.
Rich, in my slightly dazed state, do I notice the door dropping? You're muted.
As then you feel the surge of radiant energy fill your body, and you start to get all of the aches and pains start to get a little bit easier to deal with. You do hear a horrific grinding of stone on stone. It is loud, it is echoing around the chamber you're in, and as you look for its source, you do notice that the door now, in that action from Ace, has dropped another few inches. There is about maybe half a foot of space at the top of the door.
Okay, can I see the workings?
Roll me a perception check. Or an investigation, it's up to you.
Thank you. Never perception. Never. Oh, okay. Thank you, new Blink Dog Dice. That's a 17.
Big Dog Dice doing well already. Okay. So,
It's really easy.
is that investigation, yeah? Okay. So you immediately shoot up off the floor from your prone position, rush over to the workings of the door. It does fall another couple of inches as you're making your way there. However, the grinding does give way as you get closer to a kind of a mechanical ticking, like cogs slipping from each other and you do notice now you're closer that the door isn't moving smoothly. It's kind of shuddering every inch as it goes down. The workings seem to be just on either side of the slab. There's maybe an inch of space. You could fit your hand, a couple of inches of space between the wall and the door slab that is grinding down. You could probably fit your hand or something else in there.
Yeah, I don't want to stick my hand in there, but I will try and grab either a chunk of stone or a stick.
Okay.
To jam into the workings.
As you turn then, the room has very few chunks of stone and very few sticks. It does, however, have a very large beholder corpse and a shitload of magical items.
I'm not going to use a magical item.
Okay.
And I can't get...
It's a very
The
sharp
door's
cold.
Dice.
The door's lowering from the top. Right?
Yeah, it's lowering from the top down. Dice, while you're doing that, Sepsis, Oriana, Ace.
I'm still kicking the shit out of the beholder corpse.
Okay.
I've gotten up, walked over, and just started kicking it.
It's zombies we can hear from behind the door, right?
It is zombies you can hear from behind the door. Or it's a very
Dice,
similar sound to what you heard before.
Hey Dice, do we still have chunks of flesh from that behir in the bag?
Sure, there should be 2 roast chicken-sized portions of dead behir.
We could send Creature to distract the zombies again. It worked real well last time.
Hang on, is there another way out of here, Rich?
There is the entranceway that the beholder used on the opposite end of the room.
Should we just run?
Even if we distract, we've got to pick up these items.
Some of this.
Yeah, even if we just distract them, we'd still have the spectator to deal with. I can sabotage this, I think. I need something to jam into the mechanism. Anyone see
You
anything?
can probably work out that.
Can,
Okay.
I think.
Everyone, if you're trying to find something to jam the door, then
a scepter or something.
everyone roll me a perception check.
22.
22?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like linked up dice.
16 on my blink dog.
Okay.
Okay, my brand new dice rolled a 2. It doesn't look like this dice is going to work out.
Okay, cool. What was your score? Sorry, Oriana.
You're just going to completely ignore that he just ate that dice.
I didn't actually notice. I was looking at you.
I didn't
Sorry.
notice either.
He just ate it.
What was your
That's
score,
elite.
Oriana?
I was 16.
16. Okay. Oriana, as you rush around the room, then both you and Dice scouting for anything you could jam into the mechanism. There are many. I'm sorry, Greg. Roll one for Ace as well.
Can't leave my dice.
Okay. There are many different items that you could possibly jam into it. There are
Loads.
many scepters, staffs. Ori, that's basically what you see. There's lots of different items you could chuck in there. Dice, as you rush around, then you take in more of the room than Oriana. You do notice that the only thing in the room apart from the beholder and the magical items are 2 large vats of what looks like bubbling oil. However, then scanning very quickly all of the items, with your discerning eye, I'd like you to make me a quick Arcana check.
Using the same dice, this time we have 11.
Okay.
No, that's 10.
Okay. Even that, with the DC on the Arcana check, your eye turns more to mechanical, very obvious magical items that you can determine very easily the uses of. You do notice with your original perception tech of 22, there do seem to be a pair of short metal rods. They are tied together with a thick band of leather. However,
Nunchucks. You found nunchucks.
However,
And the movable rods.
no, they're tied together. However, on either side or either end of both of the rods, you do see some very intricately carved ram's heads. You are pretty certain, because you've seen one of these being constructed by the gnomes that taught you, that you have found a pair of immovable rods.
Hell yes, I will pick them up and ram them into the mechanism.
Sorry, before you ram those powerful magical items into this door, which we're going to run away from shortly, Ace has got 4 just plain old ordinary javelins on their back. Should we use one of those instead?
Try it and see if the mechanism damages it. The worst that happens is the immovable rods hold it while we gather up the magic items, and then we yank them out and run.
You're the mechanism lady. Yeah.
Do I think that the mechanism is so crunchy that it's just going to destroy a wooden javelin if it's put into it, or a metal tip?
With your original investigation check, I'd say you can anything jammed in there is going to slow it. Only a few things could possibly stop it, but anything jammed in there is going to slow it.
So we have 2 choices, but we've got to be quick. We can jam the javelin in and it'll probably slow it down. I don't think it's going to stop it completely. We could put the rods in and it'll stop it, and then we can gather up the stuff, yank them out, replace it with the javelin, and run.
Well, I like the idea of stopping it completely, because I could use a short breather.
Likewise, I'm
Yeah,
really injured.
It seems to be the better idea.
Okay.
In which case, I will take one of the rods and jam it in the side and see if one should stop it.
Okay. Using your your artificer skills, then you very quickly and deftly find the button, or the activation button on one of the immovable rods, jam it into the side. I'd like you to make me You've got Tinker's tools, yeah?
Yeah.
I'd like you to make me a tinkering
Ooh,
check.
she's a little tinker.
Oh, what a little tinker. What modifiers do I add to that? I know it's...
It's your proficiency, but because obviously of your artificer skill, you get to double your proficiency bonus when you're using a tool you are proficient with, I believe.
Yeah. Is it
Cool.
Dex as well?
Tinker's tools is
Intelligence or what?
intelligence.
Better and better. Okay, so that's 17.
17. Cool.
Yeah, not bad for rolling a 7.
You listen for a moment then at the door, and as your hand moves up it and then down it, as it's slowly stroking the door, you can feel through the vibration exactly where the bump is strongest, where you think exactly the cog might be, even though you cannot see it properly. In that moment, you jam in the immovable rod. The rod shudders a little as it begins to turn with the motion of a cog, as if you've just got it inside the teeth instantly. But then you hit the button and the rod completely stops. There is a grinding, and now there is a loud impact sound from the other side of the door, which is a stone on stone, or the other side of the door where the other mechanism is, as if it's just trying to trip itself and is grinding away. The rod, however, is not moving, and neither is the door anymore.
How annoying is the noise?
It is loud from where you are, but as you take a couple of steps away, the noise dampens until it's almost imperceptible.
Fine. Okay. I was going to jam the other one in just to shut it up if needed.
Okay.
There, I fixed it. We can gather things now.
Hooray!
As it turns out, dice are quite tasty.
Nice and tasty? Yes, we are.
Yeah, these are.
So, what do you do?
Banging the stuff back up.
Okay. All of it?
As much as
Yeah,
we
I'm
can.
gonna be keeping.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be keeping an eye for anything that I think is particularly interesting.
Okay, cool. What is interesting to you, Sepsis?
Well, anything that I would recognize that it would make a difference in my ongoing quest to become more powerful.
Okay.
Powerful.
Make me an Arcana or an investigation check, whichever you prefer.
I definitely prefer Arcana.
Is everyone else just shoveling, or are they looking out for anything as well?
Looking after some interesting stuff.
Looking for jewelry. Anything that's like jewelry.
Jewelry. Okay.
I rolled a natural 1, and this one isn't fucking edible.
Okay.
But it is from Blink Dog Dice, which means it's a very nice.
Roll the natural 1. Okay. Unfortunately, nothing really jumps out at you apart from really the scrolls you were looking through earlier. You know there are like quite a few spells in there that would be quite nice to add to your arsenal, or at least the ability to cast them. Dice, what did you roll? Arcana or investigation?
Arcana.
Yeah.
So it was 18.
18. Okay. And Oriana, what did you roll?
I didn't roll.
Okay. Arcana or investigation, it's up to you.
Ori just ate the dice some more.
I was just eating dice.
Are they nice? I want some.
Yeah,
They actually just come back to life.
Yeah, I'm really sleepy.
It would be the same either way. So 21.
21. And you are looking for jewelry in particular?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. With the 21 then, as you were going through, you find a brooch that seems to hum with very similar energy to the ring you were gifted by Hades.
I think it was by the Fates.
Well, you know, they work for someone. You also find a circlet,
Ooh.
nice little crown that seems to speak to your affinity for fire.
Yeah, I grabbed those.
Okay. Give me a second, because I just need to check something else. You also find a quite understated headband. It's quite pretty, but it has on it a card, well, a metal kind of. It's imprinted in the metal circlet of just a book. It's just an embossed book in the metal, but it does sing with power.
I grabbed all of them.
Okay. There is, as I said, a veritable treasure trove in front of you. Dice. As you are shoveling, you shovel many different suits of armor. You are very familiar with a lot of the kinds of armor that you are shoveling in, because there are an obscene amount of adamantine armor pieces settled here, which, as you can imagine, considering the Drow were paying tribute to them, to the Beholder for so long, for peace, does absolutely make sense. You also see quite a few seemingly mundane items, like items of clothing, some boots. There are, in fact, a pair of boots that does very much take your eye, as they seem to have, each boot has a pair of quite battered, quite lackluster, but still very softly flapping wings attached to them.
Happy boots.
There are also quite a few books, heavy, large tomes that hum with magic. And what else do you find with your... Well, you found 2 items. There are also at least 2 pairs of goggles of night. They're very, very similar to the ones you've created. It seems the goggles of night had a pretty standard blueprint.
Hey, look. I won't have to use so much magic all the time anymore. And Ace will be able to see all the time, not just for 8 hours.
Very nice.
But yeah,
Appreciate it.
so there's loads and loads and loads of stuff. Do you want to roll for Ace? Does Ace care?
No, I don't think so. Ace has got the hammer.
As you are searching, once you come to the end of your search, then there is an explosion on the other side of the door. It rocks the stone slab. Dust begins to fall from the ceiling above. It seems that the spectator has come into the fray. The door at this stage is still in one piece. The immovable rod has not moved, but you know from the powers of the beholder, the spectator may make short work of this stone slab.
How much of the floor have we cleared into the bag if we're all like pretty exclusively shoveling?
Okay. Let's say with your...
We're not greedy, we'd just like to know.
Yeah, you've chucked most of everything into the bag. You're good.
Nice. Okay. I think, guys, it might be time for me to do the switchy with the rod and the javelin, and then we can run like fuck.
Okay, I mean, we are going to need to get away quite fast because I have nothing. I am out of juice.
I mean, it's not like we can kill the spectator, so we can leave the rods if you want to, but...
No, that's certainly not what I'm suggesting. But
The rods are the only thing that's going to stop the door.
Yeah, it will start moving slowly, but...
You still have one rod.
It's going to burst through it in no time anyway.
Well, we could slip out the back door, and then creature could remove the rod and follow invisibly.
Good point, but it wasn't moving that fast anyway. I think if there's a javelin in there and it slows it down still further, the spectator's going to burst through in no time anyway. So we might as well take it, I think.
Just take them and run.
Yeah.
Jam a javelin in and go.
Ace, may I have a javelin?
You may.
Thank you. I'm going to jam it in point first in the hope that the metal will work better than the wood would to slow the wood would.
Okay.
But I'm going to jam it in the other side to make sure it's fully in position before I remove the immovable rod from the original side.
Okay. Having worked out the mechanism then, knowing generally where the cog on one side is, because you were quite deft with the immovable rod, you manage to jam the javelin in. Make me a strength check.
Dude, if I'd known that was going to be an issue, I could have taken Ace with me.
True.
Do you want to take Ace with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll with advantage then.
No, I should point out where it goes to Ace and get them to jam it in, and they roll with advantage.
Okay, cool.
I'm not stupid. I don't roll strength checks. You can't get me like that.
18.
Mm-hmm.
The loud knocking noise that now Ace can hear from this side of the door does stop and become a much quieter grinding noise instead, as the javelin just kind of quivers in place. Do you remove the immovable rod from the other side?
Yeah, I would have rolled it. So, yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad I made the choice I did.
You take the immovable rod. The javelin does seem like it's moving. As soon as you remove the immovable rod, it does start to tick very slowly, like the hand of a clock. And you'd notice that the door begins to move again as well. Not as fast as it was last time. It is moving much slower, but it is still moving. And you do see a bright flash of purple from the other side of the door, and the door is hit hard by something again. The stone is beginning to crack.
It's time to go.
Let's go.
We gonna run?
I run to the door and usher everyone else, and I'll stay at the back.
Okay. So, as you climb up onto the stage that the beholder presented themselves on, rush through the door into the darkness. It's, you've all got effective night vision, and as you get through, you take a couple of lefts, a couple of hard rights, and eventually come into a laboratory. This place is decadent in its finery. As an alchemist, Sepsis, looking at all of the bottles and the bubbling liquids and the smells of this room, it excites something in you. If in
Phrasing.
If you were in a much better place, this would be heaven for experimentation. However, something else, as you're running through Sepsis, grabs your attention. You are not looking for it, but as you enter this room, it is like a slap in the face of necrotic energy. It does not harm you, but your eyes are immediately drawn to the center of one of the laboratory tables. And you see, closed, but pulsing with darkness, you see a large black book.
Mine.
Pardon?
Mine.
Okay. So as you're rushing through the room, you veer off and grab the book.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Give me a second.
As we're running, I go, is now really the time to go shopping?
Yes.
Hey, nice book.
Thanks.
Give me a moment, because unfortunately, D&D Beyond has decided to completely screw up on me. There we go.
I can't be the only one that's got Dexter's Laboratory, the theme song playing in their head.
Hey, guys, do you know what we should do with the book that Sepsis has just picked up that our characters know nothing about? We should chuck it into a portal to the Feywild.
Honestly, make one bad decision.
Okay. So,
Never mind.
as you touch the book, it is freezing cold in your hands, almost to the point where it is burning you. However, after a moment, the burning stops. There is a comfort to its weight. And you may be imagining it, but it seems like the book is comfortable in your arms, like it feels at home.
Baby.
And then the feeling is gone, and you are once more rushing straight through the laboratory.
Interesting.
Okay, as you rush through them, the tunnels get smaller. Still large enough for a beholder to get through comfortably, but not large enough for an entire army to walk through, side by side. Maybe 3 of you can run abreast. But as you all rush through, it starts to get rougher. Stone-worked walls giving way to normal cavern walls, wet, slick with moisture. You're dodging around stalagmites. The ceiling becomes much lower. However, there are no stalactites. And as you look at the ceiling above you, a lot of them seem to have been either broken or blasted off. You appear to have found a beholder-only exit.
Why a beholder-only exit, sorry?
It appears to be the beholder could fly through it at speed, but nothing else could chase it. But as you're moving through, I want everyone to roll me a perception check, please.
15.
15.
Yes.
6.
Ace got 17. That's the best we got between the 3 of us.
Okay, cool. Ace, then, out of all of you, gets a strange sense that they're being watched. Again, it's the same feeling that many of you have had while going through the Beholder's Lair. Not as powerful, not as abhorrent to their senses, but it is still there. And as Ace scans around, the shadows seem to move for a moment, but there's nothing that they can actually see.
Would Ace recognize this feeling? Because it was Ace who spotted the little eyeball Gribbly previously.
Mm-hmm.
Would Ace recognize it as the same feeling that the eyeball Gribbly gave on the previous occasion?
It was a very different feeling.
It's not the same eyeball Gribbly.
Interesting. I suppose Ace would relay that information that it feels like we're being watched.
Watched by what? Can I see anything? If I actually take the time to look around? You're muted again.
Muted.
Again, because the shadows have moved now, as you stare into them, there doesn't seem to be anything there.
Sepsis, you've got real good night vision. Can you see anything?
I certainly have. I'm going to use the wand of magic detection again.
You're going to use the wand of magic detection again?
Correct.
Okay. As you use the wand of magic detection, the only things you can see that give off the same arcane glow that you were looking for previously are the things that you are currently wearing or carrying.
Well, if something's watching us, it's not something magical. There's no point in me trying. I'll try making a perception check, but I don't.
You and Worm?
Yeah. Well, Sepsis got an 18 actually, which is the second highest number they can roll on perception.
Sepsis got an 18.
Mm.
Okay, cool. So, as you look around, far off down one of the corridors, just off to the left, as you are rushing headlong through a maze of cavernous corridors in one general direction, far off to the left, you do see, just at the range of your vision, a stout, short figure. They stand there, hands at their sides, staring directly at you. Glowing red eyes in the darkness, pale, sallow skin, but a full, bushy beard. It is a dwarf, not a Durga. All at once, as your eyes lock onto it, it disappears into the shadow.
Oh, why not? I'll try. Hey you, come with us! Then I'll cast suggestion.
What's the range on suggestion?
Why? Why?
Is that if it
the
can
range
hear
is-
you?
The range is 30 feet, and it's
30
supposed to
feet.
be able to hear me.
It's
Too
at the,
far away?
it's literally at the. It was at the full
Yeah, sorry,
range of your
I
dark
thought
vision.
I thought it was a longer range. That's
Why?
fine. I mean, I
Don't
still
even know it's
shouted it, but it didn't. It just, it wasn't a spell.
I don't think picking up new party members is our priority right now, Sepsis.
I thought we were here looking for information.
Okay.
But we've got
We
the
haven't got
information.
any.
Yes, we have. We found out that the Beholder struck up a deal with the elves.
The
Okay.
elliptids might have done as well.
We
So,
don't have anything concrete.
do you carry on?
Yes.
Okay. As you rush through, then I want everyone to make another perception check for me.
9.
Okay.
12.
12.
Best one here is 13.
13. Okay. You hear off in the distance, incredibly hard to tell how far off in the distance, but you hear an explosion and a tumbling of rock. You can surmise that it is behind you, and you can surmise that the spectator is probably through the door.
Okay, keep running.
Okay. As you continue to run, then the floor drops out quite sharply in front of you, and you can see down into a room. There have been some crude kind of wooden steps created to take you down to the floor, and there are many different corridors that kind of spread off from this area. But you're in a cavernous room now.
Which way?
Is this on the map?
It is not on the map. None of this is on the map that was given, that the dice drew.
Can I work out which direction would make most sense?
You can. roll me an intelligence check.
No, it's too late. You said she could work it out. So
Intelligence or survival, Rich?
Survival.
Better, thank you. Okay. Yeah, nice. 21.
21. Okay.
Yeah, that's 7 to survival.
Glancing then across at the very useful compass that was given to Oriana way back when, you scan forward, and there does seem to be one corridor down and almost directly in front of you that could possibly lead in the same direction as you've currently been traveling, which is almost in a straight line away from the Beholder's Lair.
That one.
Let's go.
are you sure?
Nope, let's go.
I start ushering people that way then.
Okay. So you rush down the wooden scaffold. It does creak quite dangerously below all of your feet, but it does seem to hold up to the hammering you're giving it as you rush down it. You make your way into the cavernous room, turn the corner down what looks like a corridor, and unfortunately find that the corridor is blocked by a rock fall.
Okay, that wasn't my fault.
You can try and find a way around.
Is there a way around down this corridor, or would we have to go back to the beginning of where they branched off?
There are, it's up to you. There is another way branching off. You went straight forward from these wooden steps. You could have taken a left instead. There may be a way around that way.
Back we go, I guess.
Okay.
There's no way through the rock fall, no.
You can try and possibly work one out.
What? One out.
How would how would you go through? How would you go about getting through a rock fall that had blocked off a corridor?
How deep the rock? Okay, it's fine. Back to the previous.
Okay. As you rush back into the room, then there is a loud snarl, and as you look up to the way you entered into the room, the spectator has chased you at full pelt through these corridors and has tracked you to this room. I would like everyone to roll initiative, please.
I have 16 hit points.
AD, if you could go over to the battle map for me in a
What
moment.
is wrong with you? Is he actively just trying to kill us?
I feel like it a little bit.
It does a bit, doesn't it?
Whatever. The spectator's probably not that bad. We just killed its dad.
Maybe it took that badly. Sorry about barking, by the way. Anya walked into the room and startled an asleep puppy who's very nervous. So he...
Hi.
He's very cute, though.
Yeah, he is, but he does not like being startled. But he hasn't slept very much today because he was nervous with all the kids around for the first time, so...
Charlie barks at me if I startle her when she's sleeping.
Yeah.
Or when she's playing Phasmophobia.
No, that's when the dog startles me when I'm playing Phasmophobia.
Okay.
Nice map book. It is a nice map book.
It's a very nice map book. Maps provided for this campaign since session 1 by the wonderful, amazing Loki Battlemats. What you can see here is the dungeon. It's the double map book set, which go incredibly well together. Beautiful artwork in both of the books, and is well worth the money. So please pop over to lokibattlemats.com and give it a look. The dungeon set was fantastic. So yeah,
push it slightly down a bit more.
Towards the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got a gap.
Sorry.
You're not adequately displaying the merchandise.
I just want to see more of the map.
Look at the model. This guy's tiny. I think we just cantrip this guy to death in like 2 rounds.
Better?
Hey, bro, do we know if a spectator has an anti-magic cone?
Roll me an Arcana
Gravy
check.
time.
Yes, dear. 14.
14?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second.
You've got to look up if it has got one or not.
No, I'm trying to get the D&D Beyond encounters thing to work. Here we go. Cool. And boom, boom. There we are. Awesome. They do not.
Cool.
They do, however, have 4 ice rays. Eye rays. Ice rays? Eye rays.
Are any of them death?
With that,
I don't want it.
no idea. Can I please have everyone's initiative?
Please don't kill me again. Why don't you love
Oh,
me?
and I'm going to have to roll it again because I've completely forgotten.
Ace,
Ace got 11.
Sepsis,
Sepsis got 14.
Dice,
12.
Oriana.
20.
Awesome.
They're probably immune to fucking lightning as well.
Okay. And ouch. Okay. Okay, so the spectator rages at you, having destroyed its master, and 2 of its eyes on either side light up, and rays flash out at you.
He
I am
still has
going
8
to
hit
need.
points.
I am going to need Ace to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Yes. Clam. 15.
Cool. 15 does succeed. A haze of confusion sweeps over their mind, but Ace shakes it off and is still able to act on this turn. I'm then going to need 5s. Your handy little.
Oh, I should have mended him.
We
Um,
didn't have
That's
time.
fine.
okay.
He's an
Fives.
NPC. If he dies, it's fine. No one cares.
Fives.
I could have just hit him.
5s fails his Constitution saving throw and is paralyzed.
No one cares about clones anyway. It's not like he's a droid.
Do
Okay.
one.
Oriana,
Yes.
what would you like to do?
I'm going to do the thing I can't pronounce.
She's gonna do.
Aghan has a scorcher.
She's gonna do
Aganatha's
Agadu.
sculpture. So I need a dex save from it.
Deck save from the spectator.
Listen, we've never been great at, at least I've never been great at singing, but at least when we would sing when we were playing in person, it would be in sync.
Yeah, now it's just nonsense.
It's horrible.
That is going to be an 18.
Ooh, it passes.
Okay. However, because of its spell reflection ability, because it passed its saving throw.
I don't think it has a spell reflection ability, Bro.
Absolutely does.
Misread.
I will send you the summary.
No, I don't think
It still takes half damage.
It does not. I'm going to need you to roll me a deck saving throw.
Isn't this what the
so. Right.
Mhm.
What's the exact wording of it? Because Aganatha's Scorcher isn't a single target attack, is it? It's basically an AoE attack.
It's a line of roaring flame. That's
If the
basically
spectator-
about 5 foot wide.
If the spectator makes a successful saving throw against a spell or a spell attack misses, the spectator can choose another creature, including the spellcaster it can see within 30 feet of it. The spell targets the chosen creature instead of the spectator.
But Aganatha's Scorcher doesn't target a creature.
Each creature in line must make a dexterity saving throw.
It's
If not, it's
an
a
area
hit.
it's an area of effect 30 foot long and 5 foot wide, or however long it is. I forget. But
It's 30 foot long and 5 feet wide. So yeah, it's not directed. I'm just shooting a line of fire.
Okay.
I'm saying either it can't do this at all, or it's gonna get more than just Ori. I have no opinion about which.
It saves.
No, it covers AoE.
It's if spectator makes a save, therefore it covers AoE. So, yeah, Oriana, what was your save?
I say 18.
18. Oh, so you save from your own spell anyway. So yeah, you take however much damage
Half of whatever
you
were
want to
about
roll.
So 5. I take 5 damage.
5 damage. Okay, cool. So you take 5 fire damage, which you are resistant to. So you take 2.
Oh, that's true. I do.
Cool.
Heal
Okay,
those 3 points back on.
that's fine.
I'm trying to see if I've got any sorcerer points left. I have.
And it's up to you. What do you want to do?
So it's 2 sorcery points to get a spell slot back, isn't it? Or 2 sorcery points to use a cantrip
Quicken
as a
spell.
bonus action?
To quicken a cantrip, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I need it to do a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Fail.
Oh, that is a natural 1.
It fails.
Oh yeah.
So that is the toll of the dead.
Toll the dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
So a bell peals out around the cavern, and the spectator is hit by how much?
13 points of damage.
13. Okay, the spectator does shudder with the sound that hits it, and it does then force its gaze and all of its eyes on you, Oriana.
Yeah, fight me.
Is that the end of your go?
Fight me, bitch.
It is, yes.
Okay. Before conscious thought, Sepsis, reaches you that you can now act, you see a blur of shadow
Weird way to say that.
behind the spectator. Suddenly, in a burst of blood, so there is pink mist now spraying out of the sides of the spectator, all of its eye stalks gone, flopping like fish on a deck on the wood below it. You see, standing behind the spectator, 2 dwarven figures, full bushy beards, long dark hair, pale, sallow skin, and glowing red eyes. It's their nails, or their claws now, that pique your interest. And as they open their mouth, their canines, elongated, start to bite into the back of the spectator. The spectator falls from the sky, drops down onto the floor, and it is dead.
What are the dwarves doing now?
They appear to still be feeding from the spectator.
Well, we should leave.
Yes. Very fast.
Go.
That's
Okay.
some fucked up shit, and I didn't want to see it.
As you turn then towards the exit that you were going to take first time, you see that there are 2 more dwarves standing, blocking the way.
Are you guys going to kill us?
It tastes nothing like spectators.
One of them rushes towards you, but then past you, and moves to join in with the feeding. The other holds out a hand and beckons you to follow.
What, follow and join in with the feeding? Because I ain't gonna.
No.
I don't want to be
He starts to turn down the corridor you were going to.
Alright, let's trust the spectator eating dwarfs.
Okay.
At this point, I don't think we have much of a choice.
AD, you can get rid of the battle map for me.
Bye, battle map.
I see it's a classic vampire dwarf ex machina, is it?
That old chestnut.
Yeah,
Okay.
just like in all the movies.
So, a lot of you now still injured, battered, and bleeding. You follow the dwarf, leaving the 3 behind you, following 1 further into the corridor. As you move through the corridors, it seems to stay just far enough ahead of you to be out of a lot of effective spell range. You sometimes quicken your pace, and it does so without even looking over its shoulder, as if it's listening to what you're doing. Everyone roll me a perception check.
You keep saying that. It's
I know the name of this episode now. It's roll a perception check.
11.
18 for Ace.
Hey.
How much for Sepsis?
I just tell you what Ace got. I just tell you what the highest one is.
I need to know
tell you
everyone's though.
Okay. Well, Sepsis got 12.
Okay, cool. Ace is then in fact the only one who is not surprised when, almost out of nowhere, the rest of you look to the left and right and realize that you have picked up another 3 of these dwarves. Out of the side corridors you were being led past. They say nothing. They don't even look at you. They just seem to escort you further and further through the corridors. The one thing that Ace does let you know, that they also notice, is that the air seems to be getting fresher.
Hey, is
There
there
is a
sword vibrating?
breeze. Do you ask Ace that?
Hey Ace, is your sword vibrating? But I am also playing Ace, so I was asking as Ace.
Ace touches the hilt of their sword and cannot feel the same attachment to it that they once had.
Ooh.
I see.
Yeah, it's because it's been replaced with the big axe of power doom.
It would appear that the Sword of Warning is, at the moment, just a sword.
Interesting. They haven't taken time to attune, obviously. We haven't had a rest or anything.
It was
No.
meant to be them.
However, that's not the only way to attune.
You better go and lie down.
As you continue then, as Ace suggests, there is now a breeze, and it smells familiar to them. You seem to be getting closer to the garden.
That's the last thing we want.
It is at that moment, having that conversation, that you finally turn a corner and begin to see more natural light in the corridors up ahead. In the way, though, is a large cavernous space, out of the middle of which, almost directly in the center of this large round cave, is a stalagmite and stalactite that have seemed to have just met in the middle. Chained
Are
to
we
it.
interrupting?
Well, chained to it on the bottom half is a small girl.
Is it Loki?
It does not appear to look the same as what Loki did previously when they previously presented themselves to you. This one is dark hair covering their face. You cannot see much. Tattered clothing. The chains are very similar to the ones you saw on Loki.
Dark hair covering her face.
Yeah.
It's that
Dark-
fucking girl from The Ring.
Dark, very much in that kind of style. Dark, long, lank hair covering
Samara.
their face as their head is kind of hanging. Their arms are chained by chains of metal and sinew. But as you enter the room, you notice that their pale skin seems to be flaking like old paper.
Gross.
But as you enter the room, you hear something sniffing the air. And the head comes up. You can see glowing red eyes peeking at you through the hair.
Uh-huh.
Cool. So we just go around her in a wide berth?
The 4 dwarves that have been following you take up a guarding position, 2 on either side of her, and turn back to you, looking at you.
Hey, Brian.
You hear, before that, sorry, you hear a skittering of stone and glance over your shoulder and see the 3 dwarves you'd left behind now standing in the corridor blocking your exit.
Hey, Bri.
Yeah.
No more phasmophobia for you.
No more ghost games.
No,
Okay.
You've had enough. No more creepy shit. We already know that you fuse anything that you're playing or watching into this game from the fact that we're suddenly in a Gith versus Mind Flayers subplot a la Baldur's Gate 3.
Hey, I had this planned before Baldur's Gate 3 got announced.
So you claim.
So it would seem. Hi.
Willkommen.
Guten
I'm
Tag.
just going to say for the record that I don't want none of this.
I actually do say Guten Tag.
My children, they tell me that you have come from the Beholder's lair.
Who's talking?
The girl.
The Wraith girl. The ring girl.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I guess you're just chilling out here waiting for videotapes to be invented.
Rich,
I was put here by the Beholder. Yes, Mill.
what happened to Fives?
Fives is with you.
Still with us.
Okay, because he was paralyzed, so...
Yeah, but that was only in the anti-magic cone. He's fine now.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, he's not a Warforged.
Yeah, no.
He is a magical construct.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the girl is speaking. No one ever comes this way from the Beholder's lair apart from they themselves. No one is allowed down here apart from them when they come to heckle and insult and berate.
We felt that those rules were more sort of guidelines.
He is what?
The
He's
big one's dead.
Kaput, I think you might say.
So
An ex-beholder.
the truth of what my children tell me, that you attacked one of the Beholder's dream children, the Spectator, you've killed the Beholder also.
Yeah.
Yes, but we didn't kill the little balloon kid. Your children ate it.
But you attacked them, yeah?
Well, we attacked it because it was coming for us, because it was, I think, unhappy about the death of the aforementioned beholder.
Yeah. So...
Killed the beholder because it threatened me.
All
And then
about
it killed my friend.
I got better.
I like you, Horned One.
Well, I mean,
Thank you.
that's an interesting takeaway from this whole situation, because from where I'm sitting, it looks like we're being threatened again. And given that you know what our reaction to that sort of thing is, I don't know why that would endear you to us.
Nine.
I feel that
I
I don't feel threatened.
I am not threatening you.
Oh.
You are a sight for sore red eyes. I have a request for you, if you would listen.
Is it that
Yes,
we free
people
you?
do.
Is it that we free you from that stalagmite by any chance?
Yeah?
Why did the beholder
Did
chain
they?
you there?
I was to be his guard dog for the rear entrance.
I have 2 questions, if you don't mind.
Yeah?
The first, who are you? The second is also relevant, I think. Why do you need us to free you when you have all these lovely dwarven folk around you who could probably do the job? Why have you not been freed previously? We have had issues with freeing people.
I have a third question, which Dice was too polite to ask, and it's, what are you?
Also, what's with the red eyes? That's it. That's the last question. There's 4. 4 questions. That's fine.
We reserve our right to ask more questions.
It's fine.
I am... My name is... Lost. It has been a very long time since anyone has used it.
Hi, last time sepsis.
You may call me Shnia.
Bless you.
Mia?
Shnia.
Yeah.
It was
I don't do that. That
it
was
was a
just-
nickname from my father so long ago. The reason that my children have not been able to, unfortunately, free me is because these chains are quite expertly made, and can only be destroyed by someone who has an affinity for the lighter magics, the more divine.
Again, this is something we've encountered previously. What are you?
I am. It is difficult when first meeting someone to explain that taking life to feed your own is okay in certain situations.
Vampire?
I'm a what?
Vampire.
Yeah, you have met my kind?
Yeah, and before he was a wine merchant.
We quite liked him.
He's very sweet.
We
Oh,
met
two.
one on
Trainsmen.
Horrible
a
boots.
tradesman.
Awful boots. Hated them.
3 demi-plane marks his house.
True.
Me.
Good. Yeah. Well, you can see that we are not threatening you now. But if you could...
Another question. What happens if we say no?
Well, my children are very hungry. I would not tell them to. I would not tell them to attack.
That's what I thought.
I am not threatening you, my friend. I have very little control of them when they are down here.
That's semantics.
Actually, look, Sepsis, we've gotten on quite well with vampires so far. Mostly they've been very reasonable types. I am...
Yeah, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah,
Which
tradesman
one's
was a
ridiculous?
fucking murderer.
Yeah, he was, but he was alright.
No, he was a serial killer.
So is Sepsis. I don't know.
Out of character.
Dice doesn't know that. But, maybe I would. It doesn't make them a bad person. It just means they've got a problem. I would, if we did this thing, I would like serious guarantees that you would not promptly kill us. Clearly, you've been here for a long time. I would imagine you are very hungry, and it would us very well free you and become lunch.
It's also...
I'm sure I can find something quite close by to slake my thirst.
So
there has been much commotion in the garden recently. I've always fancied dinosaur.
You speak in circles. If we
Wait, dinosaur?
free you, you can guarantee our freedom.
Yeah, I can show you the quickest way out
But
of
you
here.
say that if we don't free you, you can't guarantee our freedom and our safety.
9.
So that is a threat then, because you are capable of guaranteeing our safety one way or the other. But, and you're saying that if we don't free you, that you won't.
9, I can show you the way out of here. I would still tell you, but I could not stop my children from following.
I see no harm in freeing you.
Good. Then, please.
The problem with all of
issue
this
is
we
Ace
don't have anyone.
needs to be the one to free you, and Ace needs to be okay with freeing you.
The other issue is that Ace is out of juice. So
No, they're
if
not.
They were.
They can hit with the weapon.
I thought I was out. You're right. Two first level spell slots left. I don't like it particularly. I'm not a fan of this.
Before you free me, then, I have a request or a question for any of you. Have you heard whether Felder has fallen or not? I have been here many years, and I would greatly like to hear of the fate of the woman I came here to win the heart of.
Who was that?
Who and why?
Well, I had it in my mind to woo the matron mother herself, and took upon myself to take on one of her more dangerous quests, to spy on the beholders. It seems I failed, and she looks down.
Your performance is going to have impressed her.
You know the matron mother?
As well. Although Felder is now at risk. The elves have started making a move and found the area.
Has not yet fallen, Nine?
Not when we left.
No, but it's at risk of falling.
Then she will be glad to see me and my kin, I think.
Do you eat human?
What help they could get.
Yeah,
You may have competition for her affections.
Is he mortal?
He's an elf.
Sort of.
Oh, an elf. Excellent. They are very tasty.
Just to clarify here.
Very friendly.
Oh, he's one of the good ones, yeah?
Mm.
Damn it, I have a deal. I'm not allowed to kill the good ones.
That go for humans too and other races?
Well, I have been known to feed a little to recoup my strength from humans that are amicable to the idea.
Who did you make this deal with?
It's gravy time.
The deal?
Yes.
He is a very charming, very inspiring human. His name was Wraith, I believe.
Does that ring any bells?
Yeah.
Who does it ring a bell about?
Father.
Oh, father.
His name was Niklaus Wraith.
Nicholas?
Or Wrath, sorry.
Right.
Ah.
Tabaxi.
No,
No,
Mother was a
Tabaxi
tabaxi.
Mother was a tabaxi.
Father's a human. Okay. I'm all right with it since everyone seems to want to go along with this.
I mean, Sepsis, we have no real way to get back to Felder without waiting 3 weeks for Liana to come back. If we can get through the garden and we can follow the lovely what's her name?
Schneer.
Yeah, like a bagel.
No, that's a schmear. Not a
I know what I said.
I know what I said. I said what I said.
Schnee.
Oh, Schnee.
Schneer is how she pronounced it. Is how she pronounced it anyway.
Okay, Schnee.
Me.
Anyway, Ace, if you could free the young lady.
Ace will step up and attempt to do just such that thing.
Okay. Roll for attack with advantage.
Lots.
Cool. And okay. 26 does hit.
I shall
Take it. I take it. Ace is not using any of the hammer's extra benefits.
It seems unwise to hit metal restraining a person we're trying to free with lightning.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, the lightning strikes anyway.
Oh well. I hope she likes a bit of a tingle. I've got to be honest, I haven't had time to read all of the hammer's abilities, but no, it's just going to be a
don't use a charge.
Hit and a smite.
Okay.
One of those, 2 of those. Actually, yeah, it is a D8. Cool. Blam! 23 damage.
23 damage. As before, when you struck the chains binding Loki to the World Tree, the chains this time crush and shatter under the weight of the hammer. There is a crack of electricity and the power does run through the metal, but appears to stop at the manacles, as the manacles are more flesh than iron ore. and the manacles, now that whatever was keeping them together has died, fall off the hands or the wrists of this girl. And she stands much straighter, still with her hair swept over her face. I thank you, and I offer you hospitality.
Thank you.
We could do with it.
Much obliged.
You all
question.
look like you could do with a bit of a rest.
That's
No,
what
fine.
You could say that.
She turns to all of her friends, or her childer, and with a flick of her head, they all rush off at speeds that it is difficult to keep up with your eyes, and suddenly they've all disappeared off in the direction you were heading, down the corridor. I have sent them hunting for sustenance for me. We may have a great deal to converse about here, and this is as good a place as any now to rest, as the greatest threat hereabouts has been vanquished by you. I would like to give thanks, but I am very weak. Would anybody like to donate? And as she says that, she sweeps the hair back off her face, and she is stunningly beautiful. Pale ivory white skin, full pouty blood red lips, which she is biting the bottom lip enticingly with one elongated canine that kind of flashes in the tiny amount of light.
Egos are ruining our lives.
Dice is far too weak to do that, and I doubt Ace would agree to it, or Sepsis.
I could. Wanted me to, but I've already died once today.
Try
I'm
our
not
friend
averse to it.
Fives.
Yeah, feed on fives. Huh?
Fives doesn't have any blood.
I believe that I would chip my teeth on that specimen there.
The question is, how do you feel about tiefling?
I have found it to be spicy and intoxicating.
You're spicy.
Spicy. Spicy.
Okay.
That is... I do not like that. I do not like that use of the word spicy in the slightest.
Spicy blood. Mm.
All right. You are a willing victim for this bite?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool. There we go.
Just don't go turning me into anything.
Okay.
Don't go changing.
It's not going to be that much, don't worry.
Into a vampire.
Okay.
You've never done that once before.
You take... Okay, so you take 10. So you take 3 points of piercing damage, but it is a strange sensation. It's not painful. It's actually quite nice, but you do immediately feel weaker. As you also then take...
It's gravy time.
12, 16 points of necrotic damage. And your maximum hit points is reduced by 16 points as well.
How do I do that? Oh. Wait, no, how do I reduce my maximum?
Click on...
If you click onto hit points and click on max hit, no. You can do it on the website.
Oh, right, max hit points, I've got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I was trying to work out how to do it on aces. That's not going to work.
Yeah, 16, that would be...
You can just do, in max HP modifier, you can just do minus 16 instead of trying to add it up.
The feeding goes on for a few moments, and as Oriana, her eyes seem to close in pleasure, and her breath becomes ragged and gasping. However, the rest of you, what you notice is that the flaking white skin on the girl's arms stops flaking, starts to become smooth, like porcelain, almost perfect. Her hair instead of being lank and long, becomes full-bodied, almost as if it has a life of its own. It starts to swirl around her face. And even in her clothing, which is effectively now rags, she looks like she would be comfortable or at home in the finest parties, the grandest balls.
But I love balls.
I have that effect on women.
After a few moments, she takes her teeth from your arm. That was like water for a man in the desert. Incredibly refreshing. I give thanks. And a promise that I or my children will never harm you.
Cool.
Thank you for that gift. Do not worry though, you will
Taking it
not...
off mental list.
You will not turn. I'd have to kill you for that. And you're far too pretty. You must be kept around. But
Well,
anyway...
not the first person to say that to me.
Speaking of...
yeah?
Shnia, do vampires live forever?
As long as we are fed, yeah.
And you can turn people into vampires. That's a thing that you're capable of.
Yeah.
Except since you are part reptile, and I'm sure you rely on being in the sun.
Interested?
Perhaps we'd have to talk about it.
Well, my children will be many hours. We have a great deal to talk about. Why not add this to the list? Come, sit, rest. Tell me your story. And as you sit and rest with her?
I've got no choice.
Okay. So as you sit
desperately need a rest.
As you sit and rest, then with Shnia, the vampire, we're going to take a break. Yes, we're going to take a break. Bang on 9 o'clock.
Meeting this vampire really feels like a milestone in our journey.
So we're going to take we're going to take a break here.
I didn't say anything.
Thank you. We're going to take a break here. We're going to be about 15 minutes, coming back for the final 2 hours of episode 45. Please, while you're on, please stick around for a start for part 2. It's not going to be any more than 15 minutes. While you're on break, as we've said, our stream now is sponsored by Loki Battle Mats, fantastic, wonderful creator of tabletop RPG accessories. You've seen an example, at least, of some of their books and some of their amazing artwork earlier on in the very short battle they had. Please check out the link. It's in the description, lokibattlemats.com, for more info on all of their products that they've got released already and the ones that are upcoming. So I'm very excited for January. Very, very excited for January. Also, please pop over to Etsy as well and check out, all one word, Blink Dog Dice, our second sponsor of the evening, and find out again. It is in the chat. Sorry, the link. Indulge your inner dice goblin, and yeah.
Oh, and my terrible rolls tonight—they're not responsible for those.
They're not responsible for those. That's just Greg.
Kind of been great with my new beautiful Blink Dog dice with cogs inside for my little artifice. I don't even know if I can. Does that show at all?
Not really.
Not really.
Whatever. They're really pretty.
I'll send AD a picture you can stick up. But yeah, stick around. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. Thank you very much. See you later. Hello, and welcome back to part 2 of episode 45 of the Chronicles of Nidum. I hope you spent the break effectively, like searching for dice and spending lots of money on Loki Balmer, some Blink Dog dice. But if not, they ain't going anywhere, and please go check out their products because they are actually kind of awesome. But anyway, where we left off, you were invited to rest by a young-looking female vampire that you had found, chained to a stalagmite. And we can roleplay the conversation afterwards, but I would like everyone, please, to take a long rest.
Oh, thank God for that. I am actually genuinely grateful. I died. Shit happened. I didn't like it. We will unpack that later. We're not in danger.
I was also only on 63 out of my 66 hit points. Charlie, you're muted.
So you were deathly hurt. You were on death's door, Septus, yeah?
Yeah. Could you
You look
take
so nice when everything's unticked and all your health's back.
Bri, could you take a long rest for Ace, please?
Absolutely, you can refresh now.
Reg, as part of the overnight, I am going to give Ace a set of goggles of dark vision.
Goggles of night.
Goggles of night, thank you. Yeah, I'm going to give her some googly goggles from the bag, because we know there's some in there. So I'm going to pull out a pair of googly goggles and give them to Ace.
I can add that on, that's fine.
And I'll deal with switching over my artificer stuff when I actually have a safe long rest and time to do it, because I don't think it's reasonable to do it in a cave with a vampire.
No problem.
I'm also going to mend 5s, that's it.
Okay, cool. So, yes, you were invited to sit and partake of refreshment with Shania. So, where are you all from? How did you come to be here?
Oh, you know, we got a bit lost down here. There's a lot of tunnels.
Also, Oriana, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Are you pulling your bitch?
If she's going to be charmed if she fails this, I think that ship has sailed.
18.
18. You do find Shnia very attractive and incredibly charming. However,
No, don't fight. I don't need a charming spell to pull that off.
Your emotions and your feelings are your own. There is
Yeah.
no outside influence.
She's
guiding
fit.
you. So what do you tell her? How much do you tell her? Do you tell her the stories of where you're from?
No, I'm telling her that we were lost in the tunnels, and we just happened to kill her the whole day.
She knows we came from. She knows we came from Felder.
She knows we've been in Felder. She doesn't know we came. Like we said, all we've said is that it hadn't fallen when we left.
I'm going to just say, we were sent by Felder to investigate the Beholder, very similar to yourself.
Dice, you never let me have any fun at all.
I let you have fun, but she already knew otherwise.
No, I'm thinking back over our time together, and you've never once let me have any fun.
We went shopping, and what about completely allowing you to convince Oriana that the Earth was in fact flat?
It is.
That was pretty fun, right?
No, that wasn't fun. That was educational. You're not
You
one
didn't
of
have
those
fun
people
putting
who
all the
tries to
drawings on the wall.
You're not one of those people who tries to make learning fun, are you?
I sometimes to just completely blank them out.
You believe the world is flat?
It is flat. Have you not seen it? I mean, obviously it's bumpy. It's not completely flat. We're not talking like a snooker table.
Just let it go.
Yeah.
It's not a fight.
Yeah. So, how did you kill the beholder?
Set it on fire.
Spells.
Repeatedly.
Well,
I didn't. It killed me.
Hit it with a sword a few times. Some of us did anyway.
well, considering it has killed you, you look rather healthy.
She got better.
Yeah, so you are quite powerful then. All of you.
More lucky.
Mostly lucky, I think.
Sepsis
Starting to
managed
feel
to
like we
find
should be about 1/8 more powerful than we are.
Sepsis managed to find a scroll in time that saved Dice along with Ace repeatedly electrocuting her chest.
Yeah, actually it was mostly luck.
I find that in most of the years I've spent on this plane, luck has very little to do with it. Power, skill, those are the important things. Knowledge. Luck comes and goes.
We have benevolent gods.
In this instance, it came.
The gods have never been benevolent. Those are lies that they tell you to try and make you sleep better at night.
When you say on this plane, I presume you mean this flat surface.
9, on this globe that spins through the ether around the sun.
That it's very clear that the sun is going around us. You can literally watch it.
I am not getting into this argument.
Don't. Because they start to make sense after a while.
So, I take it that you are not allied with the elves?
No.
The ones who came through here under the protection of the beholders?
No, those in particular I want to gut and use to decorate.
I like the way you think.
One in particular, his name's Anne Kane. Him.
Broody, quite young looking, stiff.
That's the one.
Yeah, he looked...
We didn't have occasion to check whether it was stiff.
Wow, Sepsis.
You are very dirty also, Sepsis.
I'm just saying Oriana usually does check.
Oh.
No.
A tiefling after my own heart, then.
Anyway, him in particular, I would like to kill in a slow, painful way.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so would I. Where will you go now?
I think that the plan
It's
is to
gravy
return to
time.
Yeah.
Well, if we go back that way, and she looks down the corridor back towards the beholder's lair, that's possibly not an option. You could go through the garden, however...
You couldn't.
Well, if I had some sort of parasol, that could work.
Can I reach into the bag of holding and see if I can pull out a see if there's any parasols in there? Just like think the word parasol.
You can. Nothing happens.
Nah, it was worth it.
What about cloak? Big hood.
It's fine. There is much shade in the garden, as long as you know how to circumvent it. It should be okay.
So, how much of an inconvenience is daylight to you?
Well, it burns with the fires of hell. No offense. She says to Oriana.
Will it kill you?
Yeah, if exposed to it for long enough, yes.
How long is long enough?
I'm quite sturdy. My children will be killed much more quickly.
Could it be circumvented with a parasol or a cloak?
Yeah, it is only direct sunlight that harms me.
Sepsis used to wear a cloak over your face anyway.
I recall.
I think we still have that cloak.
Yes, it's in the bag. The old bag.
Entirely recommending that you embrace that side of things, but obviously it's your shout as long as you don't hurt us. But you have the power to hurt us anyway and never have, so I don't know why you would then.
It is not going to be very much of a problem for me.
Okay.
Oh.
Have you word from the illicit camp?
No, not yet.
Haven't gone anywhere near there.
Do you know if the elves had to deal with them as well?
Nine. I do not know. I could not get anywhere near there either.
We didn't try, we came straight to the Beholder.
Though they have sent emissaries recently. They were quite tasty. But they were looking for something that the Beholder had. I do not know if they have obtained it.
Oh,
Seemed like something quite important.
oh! I have an idea about what that might be. I'm sorry.
Yeah?
It's the dust in this cave. A small, goobly, small person. Goobly. Sepsis, you have a better description. You actually saw it.
A squidling.
That was it. Yes.
Nine, they were part of the emissary, the entourage.
What sort of thing would they have been looking for?
Do not have any clue, but it seemed to be very important and, strangely for them, arcane in nature.
You didn't have much occasion to chat with them.
Nine. We just fed from them when they left. That's the Beholder's request. Those who were allowed to leave anyway.
I didn't think the Beholder was in the habit of actually making requests. I thought he was more of a do this or, become more dead.
Mad cackling.
Yeah, a bit of mad cackling, not sane.
He liked to request my services, pretend to request my services to mock me.
That actually sounds more...
Mm-hmm.
Verisimilitude, that has.
Verisimilitude, great word.
One of my favorites.
It's not at this point, and they haven't been gone for long, you may have been chatting for maybe 10, 20 minutes, that one of her children returns. This one looks younger than the rest of the dwarves, shorter beard, boyish features, and he comes right up to the vampire girl, speaks no words, just stares at her dead in the eyes, and then rushes off again. Well, it would seem that your rest cannot come at a better time.
How so?
Have you been to the garden before?
Yeah.
Yes.
The sun has gone.
What?
Sorry, what now?
It is dark in the garden. Or so my children tell me.
Is that a bad thing? That seems like a bad thing.
There's crops that need that sun there.
There is still an orb of light there, but they say it is as if it is the moon.
Is it normal for the garden to become night sometimes?
9, but it may have something to do with the large army of elves that is camped next to the lake.
Oh,
That's like something I don't want to fight with, though.
Something I could feed from, though. It's much
How
easier
hungry
to
are you?
move in the dark. Oh, for elves, very.
Would be good to do something about that.
And unfortunately, it may be the only way through. because they are camped between the lake and the way to Felder.
Hey, guess what, guys?
Let's go! Yay!
The only other exit I know from the garden is much more tentacly.
Is it time to sneak again?
It's time to sneak again.
Hooray!
Some sneakiness.
I love sneaking.
To get back to Felder, and if that's the easiest way to go, then we're going to have to go that way. At least we can update them and tell them we know where the elves are camped.
If we can cause some chaos with a large number of Shnia's gross, gribbly children being unleashed to feed on them, then at least that could help us get through undetected, I suppose.
It is nice that they have created a lot more shade for me.
Rich, I would like two things before we actually leave, just as a thought.
Okay.
To level up.
Yeah,
And-
that's one.
Yeah, we'd really like to do that.
Okay.
Even I'm asking now.
Come on, we've done so much. We've done so many things. He's just going to
One of us died. One of us
One of
died.
us died.
That was a
That's
real
your
milestone for
girlfriend.
Dice.
I think you're all muted. I can't hear anything.
Oh, weird. I would like
You're a
to.
bastard. You're a stinky bastard, man.
I would like to pull the boots out of the bag, the ones, the flappy bits. And I would like to spend some time having a look at those. I would also like to have a look at. You said I found a book, or a couple of books.
Found a couple of books, yeah.
I'd like to have a look at those while everyone's talking.
Okay. Well, while you're having your long rest, then, obviously most of it, or a lot of it, must be sleep, because you are all quite tired, especially you, Dice.
And Ori.
It's quite,
By a hamper.
yeah, but it's quite exhausting coming back from the brink of death.
Or death.
Mm-hmm.
I take it the long rest reset Oriana's max hit points.
You should have done.
It
Cool.
did.
Okay. So I would like, well, if you want to, then you can spend some of the long rest either attuning to, or you don't have identify, do you?
I don't.
I have identify as a ritual, I think. Let me
Okay.
see if I've actually got it up. 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got identify as a ritual.
Cool. Okay. So then, would you like Dice to identify anything else while you're resting?
So I want to go through. I want to spend some time actually going through the items in the bag.
Okay.
The only way I have to do that is to turn the bag inside out again, because I don't know what any of the items are, so I can't call them up.
Yeah. There's a large enough space. You can do it.
Yeah, I'll do it. I want to. Yeah, I want to spend some time actually going through to see if I can find anything useful in there.
Are you going to spend enough time? Well, okay. If you can't find anything useful in your first couple of rolls, are you going to spend enough time to give yourself a point of exhaustion, or would you give up?
I
'Cause this
probably
would
no. I probably
determine-
wouldn't give myself a point of exhaustion for it.
Okay,
but-
cool. Ori, is there anything you wanted to have identified by Dice?
The circlet, the fire one.
Cool. Okay. So sepsis.
Circlet of Trogdor.
You turn the bag inside out.
Clang,
Um,
clang, 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 clang.
Yeah, you fill up the room with treasure, armor, weapons. No gold, no money, just items.
So I obviously will not even sort of glance at the armor and,
Okay.
And weapons. I
All
mean,
right.
I might be interested in the odd dagger or Chris or something, but
Okay.
not
Roll me then 3 investigation checks and keep a note of the numbers. I'll come back to you now in a moment. Okay. Dice. Thanking your friend for obviously defending your body and always wanting to make your friends happy first. The first thing you look to identify is the circlet handed to you by Oriana. The circlet that Oriana hands to you is a circlet of blasting.
Ooh. Is a circlet of blasting.
What does it do?
blasts.
Blast shit.
Circlet of Blasting. While wearing this circlet, you can use an action to cast the Scorching Ray spell with it. When you make spell attacks, you do so with an attack bonus of +5. The circlet cannot be used that way again until the next dawn.
Okay.
But you basically get an additional Scorching Ray spell.
Cool.
Okay.
Nice hat.
Dice. What were you looking at?
The boots in the book.
Okay.
With boots and the books. I don't know how many books I picked up. You didn't specify.
You picked up 4 boots.
Flappy boots.
No, sorry, 4 books. I apologize.
4 boots. Yes, I have 4 legs.
The boots. Okay. They do require attunement. However, they are a quite well-made pair of winged boots. So while you wear these boots, you have a flying speed equal to your walking speed. You can use the boots to fly for up to 4 hours, all at once or in several shorter flights, each one using a minimum of 1 minute for the duration. If you're flying when the duration expires, you descend at a rate of 30 feet per round until you land. The boot regains 2 hours of flying capability every 12 hours they aren't in use.
Okay.
Okay. It takes a little
It's
bit more
gravy
time with the
time.
books. However, at the end of maybe another hour, because it's very difficult to discern what these items are, but at the end of maybe another hour of your ritual ongoing, you discover that you have found a manual of quickness of action, a tome of clear thought, a tome of leadership and influence, and a tome of understanding.
Say those again. Sorry.
Give me a second. Manual of quickness of action, a tome of clear thought, a tome of leadership and influence, and a tome of understanding.
Okay.
Basically, the cliff notes of these books. Quickness of action, if you read it, you spend 48 hours over a period of 6 days or fewer studying the book's contents. You get +2 to your dexterity. The others then, clear thought, leadership and influence and understanding, same thing, +2 to wisdom, intelligence, and charisma.
That's clear thought, is it? No, that was understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But we'll go through those later anyway. I'm not going to
Okay.
have to read a book right now.
Okay. Sepsis.
Hello.
What were your investigation scores?
I got a 6,
Mm-hmm.
an 18, and a 20.
Nice. Okay. For the first 20 minutes then, while the others are going, while Dice is going through the ritual and Oriana continues to chat to Schneer, you are searching through. Nothing very much stands out to you for the first 20 minutes of searching through all of the items. You're poring over armor, weapons, nothing really that you can carry, much too unwieldy, nothing you can wear. However, the second 20 minutes is a lot more fruitful. You find a large chest, like a traveling chest.
Oriana, get out of here.
Okay. Well,
Traveling chest, as you open it, has a lot of small, tiny compartments, many levels that you can take out, like a box of chocolates. In each one of the small compartments is a bottle, different colored liquid, some swirling with the horrible ingredients inside. Some swirling silver, some that seem to sparkle, one that lights up the inside of the box to help you see. There are about 40 different bottles in this chest.
Interesting. I will examine that in full later.
Okay. There you
It's
go.
writing chest full of mysterious bottles in my equipment.
In the last 20 minutes, bolstered by your success in finding all of these potions, you are drawn to a rod. It's very similar to your own, the one you carry already, but it is much more finely made, much more delicate. And again, on the end, is a place for the necrotic crystal to situate itself.
I'll try taking the crystal off my existing rod and affixing it to this one.
Okay. Do you want to spend time then afterwards attuning to the new rod?
Can I do that without taking exhaustion?
You can.
Then yes.
Okay. Give me a second. D&D Beyond.
Terrible sighted.
Shut up.
Right, still holding out hope that we're going to get sponsored by them one day.
I'm not.
Like it when I said
No, we
they're a
don't.
shit site.
We like the sponsors we got.
Our sponsors are wonderful and lovely.
Yes.
Oh, right, so now we've got sponsors. You won't bitch about them. Everyone else.
Why would I bitch about our sponsors? They're good and they make good products.
Okay. You have found a rod of the Pact Keeper. As your crystal then attaches itself and becomes attuned to this new rod, you destroy its energy and it becomes profane. You now have a profane rod of the Pact Keeper +2.
Sick.
I've got to homebrew it, but there will be some additional benefits to it because I've got to homebrew the one I've made you. But yeah, you will be able to do more than just cast Ray of Sickness once per day.
That's fine. I mean, the to be honest, if it did nothing other than just the +2, I would be quite satisfied with that.
Okay.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
I would like to I'm trying to decide. Okay, hang on. Guys.
Hello.
I have some flappy boots.
Oh, don't brag about it. Everyone will want them.
No, I was thinking for maybe Ace rather than me. As much as I want to be able to fly because that's awesome, and you can fly for like 4 hours, and that's really cool. Ace could use them in moments of great stealth requirement and just not be on the ground.
That's sheer genius.
Right? As much as I want to be stealthy myself, I think maybe Ace would fit them better.
Perhaps.
If they have enough slots. Rich, you have a thought. I can see you thinking. I can't hear you thinking because you're muted.
No, it's entirely up to you what you do with the items I've given you.
Greg, what's M's it's like?
What's M's what like?
Slot. Human slot.
One left, I think.
One left. Yeah, they're wearing the hat of disguise. They're attuned to the hat of disguise, like, not been used particularly very much since we came underground. So I don't know. Like, even if they were full at the moment, I think we could probably make it work. But they're not. So
Armor still clanks. Yeah, but not if you stand rigid and you let your feet flap you down the corridor.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, it would clank if you were like flapping your arms to fly. I don't know if you've
Flapping
got
your
little
feet.
boots that just smoothly propel you. I don't know how much it would clank.
I'm just thinking it would free up one of my artificer infusions so I could do something else with it. But
Yeah, makes sense.
yeah, it's worth a consideration. Maybe here, Ace, try them on. See if they fit you. See if they suit. Give it a go.
Or maybe Oriana would like them because they're on trend with her Greek god thing.
You can already fly.
Yeah, but you know,
Just flap my
be
wings.
more like Mercury.
Mercury?
Oh, fine. No, it's gone out of my head.
Hermes.
Hermes, that's the one.
You know, that really rubbish
The
delivery
parcel
company. Yeah.
Well, there goes our Hermes sponsorship.
Wouldn't take them. See, 80's like, nah.
80s is vetoed. That's fair.
Okay, I'm going to give
We'll
Ace...
hold out for DHL.
give Ace the boots.
What's the name of the boots? What's the item called so I can
Winged.
add it? Oh,
winged
I can't
boots.
add it anyway. I can't do anything.
No, winged boots anyway. Ace can fly, but
I'll add it to Ace's sheet for you.
Ace believes they can fly.
yeah, Ace might find something more useful in the bag later, but for now, maybe getting through the guard.
Ace has already found something spectacularly useful in the bag.
What's that?
The hammer.
It wasn't in the bag, was it?
Yes.
Ace actually hears something when you empty the bag once more. They are drawn
lots
to...
of clanging and
Bit
No.
rattling.
Ace is in fact drawn to a horn sounding, as if from far away, a sound that none of the rest of you seem to be able to hear. And as they search through the equipment and search through all the kit, that's exactly how it sounds. They find a not crudely made, but not fantastically crafted silver horn.
They run excitedly to Dice and hold it out to her.
Why are you trying to give me a horn?
Do the thing. Do the magic thing.
Oh, sure, okay. I'll spend 11 minutes identifying Ace's horniness.
Ace will spend the entire time like bouncing on their toes really nearby. What is it? What is it?
Is my horn?
Do you know yet? Do you know what it is yet?
You're not helping.
Ace has
answers
found
quietly.
a silver horn of Valhalla.
I knew it was going to be a fucking horn of Valhalla.
As an action, the horn can be blown, and in response, warrior spirits from Valhalla appear within 60 feet of the person who blew the horn. Those spirits they are berserkers. They return to Valhalla after 1 hour, or when they drop to 0 hit points. And once the horn is used, it cannot be used again until 7 days have passed. They can roll 2d4 plus 2, and that is how many berserker warriors appear.
It's pretty great. That's a pretty great item. It's an OP item. You've destroyed the difficulty curve of this game completely.
You reckon?
No.
Nervous laughter. Good. Okay. I'm going to stop rifling through the bag and actually take a long rest. But in the morning, I am going to remove the magic off Ace's boots, so they just have winged boots.
Okay.
And I'm going to return to my cloak of elven on top of my boots of elvenkind. I'm basically elvenkind, except I'm not.
Okay. So,
It'll take me some time in the morning, though.
Right. I don't know if I have any time left over to do this, but I do want to sort of flick through the book that I stole from the Beholder's Lair to see if I can work out what the nature of it is.
do you want to try and attune to it?
Oh, is it an attunable item?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that. All of my slots are full. suppose I could. I'll use the last charge that the wand has to detect what sort of magic it is first.
Ooh, okay. Let's have a look.
He's got to Google something now. Look what you've done.
As you look at it, it glows. Only for your eyes, with a black light. It is practically blinding, but it is darkness. And there is power there. But as the spell continues, you start to perceive through that darkness all possible colors. That book has many different types of magic inside it. Some you have never encountered or heard of before. There are many, many secrets in that book.
Can I read it? Or do I have to attune to it?
Give me a second. Give me 2 moments.
No worries.
It is quite a big info dump. The book can be opened. However, it is blank.
Hey, is there a portal to the Feywild anywhere nearby?
Just toss it in.
Most of the
Let it go.
portals are locked, remember?
Yeah, the Feywild's cut off. None of that.
You want to keep it in your back pocket for now?
No.
That's not something you want to sit on, ever.
I will attempt to attune to the book. I'll take off the amulet of protection.
Okay.
Actually, scratch that. I'll take off the ring of spell storing for now.
Okay.
The thing about the amulet of protection is it gives me +1 on saving throws, and I suspect I'm about to do one.
Okay. What is your current alignment?
What's my current alignment?
Yeah.
It is chaotic evil.
Chaotic evil.
Yes.
Okay. That's fine. So, as you attune then, holding the book open in front of you, you immediately see words start to appear. The pages flat past, picking up speed at a lightning rate. And you can tell that the contents of this foul manuscript of ineffable wickedness are the meat and drink of those in evil's thrall. No mortal was meant to know the secrets that it contains. Knowledge so horrid that to even glimpse the scrawled pages invites madness. I'd like you to make me a charisma saving throw.
Well, that gives me the best chance.
All at once, the book stops. At the front is a name scrawled in a language you cannot yet read, but it seems familiar to you anyway. The book speaks with a whispered, dry, cracked voice. that you've heard many times over the last few months in your dreams. This is the Book of Vile Darkness.
I have a feeling.
In its pages are recorded every diseased idea, every unhinged thought, and every example of blackest magic the previous owners have ever come across or devised. Okay, first things first. You can, if you look at the Book of Vile Darkness, you can make the adjustments in the background.
Yes. Book of Vile Darkness.
You can make the adjustments in the background. They may come up.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
So, as you all then eventually come to the end of your long rest, okay, you wake and find that Schneer and all of her children are gone.
Have they taken our bag of stuff?
They have not.
Good. Can I work out which way they've gone?
Roll me a survival check.
Okay. Ah. Okay, that is... Well, that's going to be a 27 there.
27.
I rolled my first natural 20 on my new dice.
No worries. Okay.
Kind of wish it had been on a more important check.
They have gone in the direction. You can see tracks that are actually so deep that they don't seem to have been left by someone as light-footed as a vampire would be. Almost as if they were purposely left in the dust of the cave.
Hey, guys, they went this way.
Schneer has showed you the way out.
Should we follow them?
If you want to.
Okay. Yeah. I'll gather up my friends, and yeah.
Okay.
The tracks.
No worries. Okay. Sepsis, you still here?
I'm still here. I'm reading.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm reading the description on the book.
Book of Vile Darkness.
All right. No, you're no worries.
I'm a little confused by it, actually.
Which bit?
So it says 3 minor beneficial properties, 1 major beneficial property, 3 minor detrimental properties, 2 major detrimental properties. But I don't understand.
We'll discuss that later.
Fair enough. But I also have to spend a requisite amount of time reading and studying the book in order for it to happen anyway.
Yeah.
What's the requisite amount of time, though?
It's normally 48 hours over 6 days. Oh, no, 48 hours over 6 days.
Ah, right, okay.
Or less.
Yep. Oh, no, a creature attuned to the book must spend 80 hours reading it and studying
Oh,
it
80.
to digest its contents and reap its benefits. The creature can then freely modify the book's contents, provided that those modifications advance evil and expand the lore already contained within. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah?
Yep. But
You okay?
there's no time limit. I just have to spend 80 hours over a period of time.
So, as you then progress through the caves towards the exit, easily marked out in the dust at your feet by Schnee and her children, everyone roll me a perception check.
Okay. Oh, that would be my second natural 20 of the evening.
Oh, well, then you don't even need to know. But Sepsis got a 16. That was the highest of the 3 that I rolled.
24.
I should be rolling Oriana's now as well.
Okay.
I can roll Ori's if you want. I don't have Ori's character sheet. I really can't.
Oriana also got a natural 20. I can do Oriana. Don't worry about it.
Nice. Okay.
Thanks, Greg. Sorry.
No problem.
So most of you are not surprised when you begin to hear loud camp noises.
Is it like the guy from like the guy from the Carry On films?
Are you being served? I'm free. No, it's loud camp noises. The movement of people, the braying, the movement of people, the braying of animals, murmuring of conversation.
Matron.
As you finally start to see greenery on the walls and the floor around you and exit the tunnel, they told true. The garden is dark. Instead of a blazing sun now being held in the center of this huge globe, there is now a stark white moon. Still giving light, but a lot dimmer. The further away you get, the darker the forest is. However, as you look further on then into the distance, in the direction that Oriana tells you Felder should be, or at least the entrance to the tunnels leading to Felder should be, all you can see are the lights of fires, torches, and there are hundreds of them. You can just make out in the distance there is a small tent city that has been erected on the grassy plains that you once felled a T-Rex on.
Oh, poor baby.
However, who got the natural 20?
Me and Ori.
Perception check?
And Dice.
Okay. Oriana and Dice then, staring out from the cave mouth down into the valley directly before you, because you are on now the opposite side of the lake. You can see in the woods in the distance a campfire. Okay. Flickering between trees. It's maybe about half a mile away.
Does it look like that's the way the tracks went?
As soon as you got here, the tracks had disappeared.
Can I roll to check again and see if I can find any?
Go for it.
No, that's the opposite natural, not the 20.
There are no tracks in the vicinity that you can see at all. It is almost as if the stories about vampires are true, and they took wing and flew off.
Weren't they going to help us with the elves?
Maybe they have. However, what they actually said was they need to go through the elves.
I kind of thought she was going to stick around, to be honest. Wait, wasn't she still there when we woke up because we were still talking to her?
That was before you slept.
That was after you made Ori roll the charm check.
Yeah. That was just after the bite. I made you do a long rest because nothing was going to happen.
Oh, okay. I was confused.
Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. Shall we check out the campfire stealthily?
Yes. Should I send Creature to do it instead of all of us going in?
It's half a mile. Should we move a bit closer?
Yes, if you would like to, but it seems risky.
No, it's fine. Send Creature. That's fine.
I can communicate with Creature over an unlimited amount of distance, provided he's on the same plane of reality.
Which really he sort of has to be.
Yeah, I'll send Creature ahead to investigate this campfire.
Okay. Invisibly?
Very much so.
Roll me a stealth check with advantage for Creature, please.
It's just an absolute ton of numbers. Because imps are also good at stealth, so it's 22.
22.
Yep.
Okay. So, Creature flies off. You feel the weight leave your shoulder, and you begin to look through his eyes. And below you see just a swath of dark almost black grass blowing in the wind that seems to be coming from somewhere. Eventually, the grass gives way to trees in a forest, and creature begins to fly down in spiraling circles, ever getting closer to the campfire beneath the canopy. Roll me another stealth check, 'cause he's traveled quite far, with advantage.
That's good. 18.
18? Okay. He can hear conversation the closer he gets. It is in a familiar accent. You've heard this before, especially when Dice gets very wound up or upset or angry and begins to speak in Shalem. And as he then lands on one of the trees and looks below, he sees two automatons, roughly the same model as Fives, and a young elf, unfamiliar to you. However, the elf in his hand is holding a stone that is currently glowing softly. Would you like to listen?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, my lord, we have successfully reconnoitered the elite camp. They have not found what they were looking for. They seem perturbed that their emissaries have not returned yet from the elite tunnel, from the beholder tunnels. They believe with utmost certainty that the control orb they are looking for that will guide their ship is in the beholder lair. So they have not yet been able to power their ship, and I believe once we have dealt with the drow, it is a wrap for the taking. As long as we have enough men left to storm the tunnels, and if what I know correctly from this slave we have here, and he kicks a sack next to him, and the sack moans and rolls. If what the slave is saying is true, only a few of us would be needed to effectively deliver it to the king's courtyard in a matter of seconds. You do not hear a response after he stops, but you do then, after a few moments, hear his reply. Directly, my lord, it is, I believe, nighttime now. It is strange in this garden. It is difficult to tell. However, I am exhausted. I am going to rest, and I will rejoin the camp in a few hours, if I have your leave. And after a few more moments, then a response. Oui, merci, my lord. I will return with the slave as soon as possible. Thank you. And he palms the stone, and the glow switches off. And he kicks the sack once more, and then lays down as if to rest.
I poke Sepsis. So?
I relay all of this to Dice. I'm going to keep creature in. You said they're in in a wooded area, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm gonna let creature settle into the branches of one of the trees.
Okay.
And keep an eye and instruct him to let me know if anything
Changes.
important happens.
Okay.
I have a question, sort of vaguely related, Rich. I've basically reconstructed these automatons previously.
Mm-hmm.
And I have lightning gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Would I, theoretically, know where to hit them to disrupt what's happening and stop them functioning until I can repair them?
It would be a difficult part of them to hit. So, for example, I'm going to hit them, normal AC. I'm going to hit them in a particular place, higher AC.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could theoretically stun them.
Long
with your
enough to
lightning
get
breath.
in and start to remove the control crystal. To remove the control over the automaton.
Potentially.
So yeah, what do we want to do with this sepsis?
I'm very interested to know who he was reporting to.
I have no particular issue with tying up an elf and getting information out of them.
It's got two big fives-like fellas with him, but then we've all fought on the same side as fives, and he doesn't seem to be that effective. So maybe we could take them.
Sorry, Fives.
Some offense.
That's okay.
I pat Fives on the shoulder. Theoretically, if I could hit them in the right spot, I could disable them for long enough to get the control crystal out, but that's a series of difficult... I was going to say high DC rolls, but difficult maneuvers to do in live combat. But if we could take them down and tie them up, I could stop them being on the elf side, the same as I did with Fives.
Well, I mean, it seems that you were able to give Fives a measure of autonomy, but that doesn't necessarily guarantee that they're going to be on our side.
It does. They're human souls. No human would willingly
They
work for
would
the elves.
be.
See?
Okay. It's a big if. In fact, it's a series of ifs.
Well, or we can batter them down. I can still remove the control crystals, and all we've got to do is get ropes around them and take them down.
I outrank them.
The elf's going to sleep.
And Fives outranks the automaton.
Yes. I'm just
Fives.
thinking perhaps we could pilfer the stone and see if we can use that to get any information about who he was talking to.
I would like the opportunity to have 2 more automatons on our side, because it will help us infiltrate a camp if we need to in the future. Also, it would free the human souls currently trapped, bound, and controlled by the elves, which I'm not entirely comfortable with. This is an opportunity for me.
If Fives outranks them, if you gave them a command while the elf was asleep, would they obey it?
Yes.
Would they stand still while I tinkered with them?
Yes.
Would they leave the elf unguarded?
If I replaced them as guard.
There we go.
Well, it seems like you could send them off to be tinkered with by our resident artificer, and I could, how to put this delicately, murder the elf in his sleep.
Wouldn't it be better to speak to them before the murder?
Why?
Well, as long as they don't have the crystal with them, they can't communicate over long ranges, and they may give us information about where the other encampments are that we won't get just from trying to hack a crystal that may or may not respond to our magic.
Possibly.
Just thinking, as much as I don't like the idea of torturing information out of someone, I am not a fan of elves, and as a rule, they have treated us very, very badly. I'm not as averse as I might be for other races, shall we say.
That's racist, Dice.
Yes, against elves, almost definitely. It might be worth not mentioning our plan to Ace, though.
Cute Ace standing next to us. What?
What?
Huh?
Hey, Ace's perception is on point. Ace would definitely have picked up this entire company.
Yeah.
I think we should try it. At least get some of the information. Maybe kill him peacefully to make up for it.
The problem with The problem with torturing the elf is that torture is a noisy business and it might bring more down on us.
That's true. But it would be useful to have more information if there was a way we could do it.
If we can question the elf, I can skim his surface thoughts, but they might be in a language that I don't speak.
Ori does. You could repeat what your...
I actually don't know if I have to be able to speak the same language for detect thoughts. We are gonna... I am gonna have to pop to the loo for a little bit, guys, so I don't know if we want to take a little break.
that's actually okay, because both dogs want to go out and they're wandering around whining.
Okay. Might be a good
And
idea to take a break. Sorry, I know we wouldn't normally, but we are 2 players down. And,
Sorry, yes. AD, we are going to take just a few minutes here. It is a bit unorthodox. We don't normally do this, so we do apologise, but we are going to have to take a quick break. And please stick around for part 3. It's the first time I've ever said that. Please stick around. We won't be very long.
Go to Blink Dog Dice and Loki Battle Maps. Bye.
Was your knees hurt?
I don't mind. We can call it and pick it up again next week. Oh, hi.
Wait,
You're on camera.
Whoops.
Hi. Yes. Welcome back to part 3, which is unfortunately at this point we're gonna have to. I reckon we call it an end. So I apologize. It's just one of those things. Real life. Unfortunately, off-table issues get in the way. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Sorry about the quick finish. But yes, obviously we're here every Sunday. Next week, please join us for Dress Up Sunday, because obviously it's Halloween weekend and we're all a bunch of massive nerds and geeks. So yes, we will be in costume. Don't know what those costumes are going to be yet, but we will definitely be in costume. I also apologize, Loki Battlemats, for not actually bringing in the magic item that I specifically designed for you guys for this homebrew campaign, but there will be more information on that next week, I can guarantee it. However, mentioning Loki Battlemats, yes, please, anyone still watching, remember the stream and the campaign is sponsored by 2 amazing TTRPG accessory creators. First and foremost, remember Loki Battlemats. The link is in the chat. Please pop over to their store, pop over to their website, look at their award-winning work, the fantastic battle mats that you will see if you pop over to our YouTube and check out all of our previous sessions and streams. Have been used in effectively, I think, every single session we have done since day dot. And all of the PDFs are on DriveThruRPG as well. There are a lot of free ones, or pay what you want, but they are no less in quality. They're fantastic and they work really well on Roll20 and similar platforms. So please pop over, check them out. They're wonderful. But yeah, just get more information and show them some love, because the work they do is fantastic. Secondly, our newest sponsor, Blink Dog Dice, all one word. If you search that on any social media, or just go straight to their Etsy store, which again is in the chat. Wonderful small business, dice creator, local to us, and we are actually, we are able to call them personal friends as well. So please pop over to their Etsy store, check out their dice, and again, I can't say this enough, indulge your inner dice goblin like we all love to do. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us for session 45. I'm not going to say it. Well, I will say it.
You don't need to, it's done.
No, it's episode 45. It's a multiple of 9, which happens to be the next level you have all just attained. Because you finally got out of the Beholder's Lair. So yes, you're all level 9 now. We will give you an update next week on the hit point increases and the little bits that everyone's chosen. I didn't crumble to the pressure, AD, shut up. But yes, as always, stay safe, take care, especially in these trying times. We love you guys, and we will see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Say bye-bye.